The McBee Dynasty, Real American Cowboys, the new series just premiered on Peacock and USA Network. We have Stephen McBee Jr. and Jesse McBee here to chat all about it. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Thank you for having us.
Stephen, I mean, sometimes you think about the drama and you think maybe New York or LA, but I mean, at this farm, we're getting so much drama and there's so much going on.
People are absolutely shocked whenever I tell them you would not imagine what can take place on a small town farm and ranch, especially with my dad and all of his personal relationships. There is more than enough drama to fill a TV show, and we've been telling people that for years, and here we are finally on one.
Jesse, out of all the brothers, who was the first one to kind of jump on board with this? Because, I mean, the whole team is putting out fires. I mean, from the first 5 minutes of the first episode, literally putting out fires.
Yeah. So actually, it was Steven. He was on Joe Millionaire, a dating show, and that's kind of what segued us into this whole McBee Dynasty, or this reality show of our family. And he was the first one to kind of come up to us and say, "Hey, I've been talking to a couple networks, and I think that we have a really cool thing here, and they love you guys, and obviously love him, and I think there's a great opportunity here." And we took his word for it and jumped on and went full head of steam.
And speaking of Joe Millionaire, Stephen, people are going to be pleasantly surprised to see Kella on the show and the two of you still talking and then things kind of moving forward.
Absolutely. That's one of the most interesting aspects is we're a success, byproduct of reality dating shows. And I think so many people think that those are fake and whatnot, but Cal and I have had a great relationship. It hasn't come without its struggles or its ups and downs, and that's really a cool part of this show is right when we started filming, Cal and I had a little break, and we're just starting to get back together, and the viewers get to see all of that coming about on this series.
Jesse, let's talk a little bit about, I mean, there's 250 plus people that are working on this farm. There's a lot of people, a lot of moving parts. I mean, what is the day-to-day, like what's your average day? I mean, obviously we're taking time out now, but what is like, when does the day start? When does it end?
Yeah, so I will say that I don't think there's any day that's the exact same. But I would say normally, we're waking up starting at 6 a.m. and depending on the time of year, right now we're prepping for planting season and calving out our spring calvers. So it could end anywhere from, it could start at 6 a.m., end around 6 p.m. Once planting season starts, it's go time. We're going basically around the clock. If it's dry, we're going, and that's kind of how it is around the farm. You got to expect that 7 day a week. Mother Nature kind of controls us, so we have to kind of just be able to go with the flow at whatever time.
Stephen, obviously, we know you from Joe Millionaire, and people are excited to see where your relationship goes, but also your dad. I mean, a lot of times, we're thinking about the kids and their relationship, but his dating life is also impacting the series.
Yeah, my dad's dating life is one of, if not the biggest storylines in the series, and that is truly as real as it gets. We have talked about it, us boys, for years. We're like, how do we make sure dad's personal life does not affect the businesses? And now he's gotten intermingled with our CFO, Galena, who is probably the most important person overall in our company. And so things could go very, very badly, very quickly if he messes this up, and we're all nervous for it.
And obviously, if you're watching Peacock, all 10 episodes are already available to stream. And if you're watching USA, you get to watch this week by week. Jesse, what are maybe some of the messages you've already gotten on social media as far as like, you open it up, people saw the first episode and now like, wow, I didn't realize this is what your life was.
Yeah, that's basically exactly how it's went. I've gotten all sorts of different types of messages, but basically like, I didn't realize how much drama or how much stuff happens on just a farming and cattle operation. We're like, yeah, you'd be surprised on ours with all of our family dynamics and my dad especially. There is drama in and every day, and we get to live with it. But yeah, mostly all positive messages. They love the show. They love the farm. They already see that Cole's going to be the troublemaker along with my dad.
They love watching Cole and my dad.
He's definitely my dad's son. You can see him.
Speaking of your brothers, and I'll go ahead and ask you, Steven, I'll go ahead and start with you. As far as like growing up, like at what age did you realize like the importance of what your dad was building and wanting to be a part of it, or maybe not understanding it, and kind of growing into that role?
I think from the time we could walk, we understood how important a family-ran business is, and especially farming and ranching. We grew up being told that farming and ranching is the backbone of America. It's how we were built as a country. And so being able to be involved in that industry, as tough as it is, we've understood the significance and how important it is. And so we've cherished being able to work as a family. You don't get very many opportunities in life to do that. And for us to be able to work every single day together, basically eat dinner every single night together, it's special. And we don't take it for granted.
What about for you, Jesse?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. My dad bought the first farm back in 1998 and has been growing ever since then. And we were up there as much as we could be on the farm, working the land, and really just learning. We're first generation farmers, so learning everything about farming, going through all the trial and error, making the mistakes that we've made, and just trying to grow from there, and seeing how important it is to us and to show how important it is to the world. And that's what we're hoping to get out of this show.
And speaking of your dad and the lessons that he was teaching you, maybe something that as a takeaway for everybody watching, whether you're in the farming industry or not, but what's the lesson that your dad taught you that anybody could take away from their career or from their family business?
Yeah, I think my dad is the best at understanding that if you're in a startup or any business of any sort, it is a race of perseverance. And the person that can outlast, get up every single day when you're facing nothing but headwinds and the light at the end of the tunnel is so bleak you can barely see it. And just continue to focus on the work that you can put in and control what you can control.
Yeah, I'd double down on that. Just keeping your nose to the grindstone. It's not going to be pretty every day. You're going to have problems. You're going to have issues. But just dealing with those and keep pushing forward. Don't look back, because you're never going to be able to progress if you're looking back. So that's kind of the main lesson that he taught us and that we try to strive to do every day.
Yeah, there's a reason why the windshield's bigger than the rearview mirror.
That is a wonderful quote that many people should be listening to. Thank you both so much for your time, Stephen and Jesse. Of course, catch the McBee Dynasty. All episodes are now streaming on Peacock, and catch new episodes on USA Network. And cannot wait to see how this show unfolds.
Thanks for having us on.
It's nice talking to you.
You too. Thank you so much.